Should you pull for Neuvillette? Short answer, yes. Long answer, this entire video. Neuvillette is one of the strongest DPSs in the game, and you would be a fool if you're not pulling for him. Get the man. His voice actor, his English voice actor is Noctis from Final Fantasy 15. You have to get him. But no, Neuvillette is actually one of the strongest DPSs in the game right now. He is very flexible. His kit is probably the ultimate kit that Genshin has probably created up till now, because it's very easy to build, it's very easy to play, and he synergizes with literally every character. He's that good. Let's talk about Neuvillette's kit first. Neuvillette is a Hydro Canon, literally. Like, you know, if you remember Blastoise from Pokemon doing his Hydro Pump, Hydro Cannon, that's Neuvillette. Very easy to play. You press his skill, he generates bubbles, and you absorb those bubbles, and Neuvillette does a Hydro Cannon. That's it. And the Hydro Cannon scales with HP, which is probably the easiest stat that you can build in this game, apart from defense, because you know the game loves to drop defense artifacts on you. So the more HP Neuvillette has, the higher damage he does, which is mind-blowing. He also has a certain passive talent where if the other party members do certain reactions, he gains increased damage bonus. So all in all, Neuvillette is just a massive powerhouse that you cannot ignore, especially if you're a new player. Moving on, gameplay. Press his skill, he generates bubbles, and boom, Hydro Cannon. His skill, his burst, just exists to generate bubbles, because you know his main damage comes from his charged attack. And basically to play Neuvillette, you just want to generate those bubbles as fast as possible. He has really easy rotations, and you could probably, like, you know, put any off-field applicator. You can use Charlotte, you can put Raiden Shogun, Yai Miko, Nahida, Zhongli, Baiju, Farina, Arnodia, probably, you know, upcoming characters. Shilonen works really well with Neuvillette. So, you know, every character that has an off-field support capability, they work really well with Neuvillette in buffing him. Neuvillette's weapons. Neuvillette's weapons are very easily available. You know, you can just, you know, craft a prototype Amber and you're good to go. You're absolutely good to go with a prototype Amber, with an R1 prototype Amber. That's it. It's good enough. But you know, apart from that, his signature weapon is probably the best weapon that you can get from him, because it gives him a massive boost of crit damage, which he desperately needs. Apart from that, I personally use the Whisk on him. You know, maybe the attack buff doesn't work with him, but my Neuvillette revolves around reactions. I don't focus more on, you know, just plain hydro damage. So since I focus on Hyper Bloom, I focus on Dendro reactions, Electro Charge, something like that. So I have a bit of EM, and the EM buff that I get from the Whisk helps him in some stages. So the Whisk is also a good weapon. I would recommend that too. But you know, prototype Amber is much more easily available, and if you do not have an R5 Wits like I have, like, you know, I have 3 R5 Wits, prototype Amber is the way to go. Artifact sets, you have the Marashusei Hunter artifact set from Fontaine, which just, you know, gives him a massive crit rate boost when his HP, you know, increases, something like that. And it's good enough. It's good enough because, you know, he's going to hit that crit rate mark and he's going to deal massive amounts of damage. You're going to see big numbers with Neuvillette whenever you're playing with him. Coming to constellation wise, I would recommend, you know, getting C1. C1 is the bare minimum for Neuvillette, and you know, but if you're free to play, if you just want one copy of him, that's good. He works with well. I have C0 Neuvillette and he does wonders. So, like, you know, I'm not forcing you that, you know, C1 is the absolute must to play Neuvillette, but C1 is a good quality of life buff for him. Kind of like, you know, Hu Tao C1, where, you know, her charge attacks don't consume stamina. With Neuvillette C1, he gains increased interruption resistance, which means that, you know, when you're charging up his Hydro Canon, he does not falter, or when enemies hit him, he does not get interrupted, which is a massive problem with C0 Neuvillette. So C1 Neuvillette is a good stopping point. Team wise, let's go to teams. Like I said, in the beginning, Neuvillette synergizes with literally every Genshin character that has off-field capabilities. Um, Neuvillette, I feel like you could best pair him up with an Electro off-field, so Fischl, Raiden Shogun, Yaimiko, or you could pair him up with Furina or Shilonen to get that Hydro resistant decrease on enemies. Furina works really well with Neuvillette, but to make Furina work, you need to have a healer so that Furina's stacks gains up, and then you need to have a shielder if you're playing C0 Neuvillette. So typically, if you have C1 Neuvillette, Furina is good to go, but if you have C0, you need to work around a bit. But Furina works with Neuvillette. Shilonen works with Neuvillette, and Dia works really well with Neuvillette, because in Dia's field creates a sanctum field or fiery field or whatever it's called, and it gives the active character in it interruption resistance, which is very good for Neuvillette. So Dia use over there. If you do not know where to use your Dia, use her with Neuvillette. Boom. But now, I would recommend if you're playing with C0 Neuvillette, to keep a shielder. Noelle, Layla, Kirara, Baiju's Burst, Zhongli. Zhongli is the best, the companion that you can pair Neuvillette up with. And you should obviously have a shielder on the team when you're running Neuvillette, because you do not know when you could get interrupted. So those are the teams I would recommend. Keep a shielder. Zhongli is the best bet, but you get Zhongli for Neuvillette. But apart from that, he is one of the strongest characters in the game. He's so strong that sometimes when I do the Abyss, I go without Neuvillette to just see how strong other characters are. And then when a certain stage gets super annoying, and if the enemy isn't immune to Hydro, I just bring out the good old ancient dragon. Because if Neuvillette can't do it, I don't think any other character can do it. But if something is very annoying, just Neuvillette it, because he is that brain dead strong. I think he is one of the strongest characters in the game right now. And if you are a new player, if you just began your journey into VAT with the Xbox release, or recently, whenever you're watching this video, and if you have a Neuvillette banner there, get one copy of Neuvillette. He is worth it. He is absolutely worth it. If you're going for more copies, he can probably solo the entire Abyss, which is insane. One-man army. But C0 Neuvillette paired up with other characters, you can pair him up with Sucrose, Kazuha, Xianyun, Zhongli, Yaimiko, Raiden Shogun, Furina, Shilonen, maybe Maoika is upcoming, so you can pair him up with her. You can pair him up with Citlali maybe, and then and I mean, the possibilities are endless, as long as the supporting characters are actually support sub-DPS units and not main DPS units. You're not going to get anything if you're pairing Neuvillette with Kinich, but that's out of the question. Long story short, go for him, and you will not be disappointed in the man himself, Noctis or Neuvillette, or however, whatever you want to call him, the Eodex, Chief Justice of Fontaine. There are many names, but yeah, thanks for watching. Hope your pulls went well, and as a Neuvillette haver, I wish every Neuvillette wanter, or anybody who's wanting to get Neuvillette, to get him. You will certainly be blessed by this man. And until then, have fun, enjoy, and I'll catch you in the next video. Goodbye.